Yahoo, Prof here, and we just opened up a ton of, well, new music. Um, August of 23, uh, October of 23. This one's actually probably newer. Nope, October of 23. I think this is probably also August. Let's see here. July of 20. I'm a bit behind. Okay, here 2001. No, that's I just ordered that because I didn't have it, and I happened to be at the label's website. And then this one is 2021. So yeah, these had to go through a forwarder. No, the delays are not due to the forwarder. The delays are due to me, the Profosist. I kept forgetting to order like that one. That one was super high on my list, and then kind of more of them came out, and like I'll get to it eventually and order them all in and consolidate them. And now it's February of 24. So a lot of this I've already heard. If you go back and watch the previous video, a lot of it I've already heard. A lot of it I haven't though, because it is unavailable digitally, despite them being from large bands or derivatives in many cases of large bands. It's very, very inaccessible, even if you live in Japan. For the most part, I guess, unless you went to like a local CD store and physically bought them, and they happen to carry that band's stuff. But otherwise, even inaccessible, yes. You're like, of course, you have to not only listen to music, but you have to listen to music that is hard to get, even in the country that it is made in. I guess so. I can't fault myself for liking what I like, you know. Why is that related to what we're doing right now? Well, we have a package from the other part of that world near there, China. Not Japan this time. And what is in this, what did Box Tape Man send us today? Oh man, you get that cellophane smell right away. It looks like this was a padded envelope that was wrapped around here. I didn't see an opening though, so we just cut into it. Whew. You can even see how cellophane-y this cellophane is. I know you can see that yellow tinge that's on the... That's the smell that you get when you open up things that are just wrapped completely in packing tape from China. In the U.S., we would not be allowed to have this super smelly tape. I mean, especially in California. Not that I'm from there, but I mean, they would say it would kill you or something, and I'm sure eventually it would. But it's like sticky bubble wrap too. Interesting. All right, so what is this? Well, it's I have no idea what the brand. These were listed under a bunch of different brands. I just chose the cheapest one because I'm making you drunk and crazy. It is a generic product that's just been rebranded. I bought this on AliExpress because I wanted a CD transport, and CD transports cost a ton of money, like a ginormous amount of money. And you're like, but I'm asking for less features. Why does it cost more? Like, you literally just want an optical out or a SPDIF, we'll call it optical out, a SPDIF out, or a digital coax out. Some of them have even like I2S ports, stuff like that, like much nicer stuff. Cheapest one of those, hands down, is like $250. You know, and apparently that one actually has is missing a bit when ripping them via digital out. Crazy. And they're still selling it to this day. But people really looked into it because a lot of people do want, like, they have their DAC amp on their desk, and I just want to be able to put a CD in and play it, because some of these I don't have a time to rip. Like that new Lost Stage one, I'd love to be listening to this already. So what I wanted was a CD transport, just go straight into the DAC digitally. DAC does the coding. We do not need the CD player to do any of that. I had bought the Moondrop CD player, which I think is finally in manufacturing or shipping or something. That, even though it only has an analog out, which is fine. But that means it's still doing the reading and decoding and stuff like that when it doesn't need to. Like the de facto standard CD transport is like really big. I forget the brand of it. Very reliable though. Doesn't do SACDs. Doesn't do any of the higher end CDs. Like there's Blue Spec. I think you can read that with a standard CD player. Doesn't do any of that though. It's just a CD and it's $400. Okay. There had to be something cheaper. And I found something. So this is a Crassy Rexitry. Like I said, these were sold under a whole bunch of different names. CD102, 10 watt, wooden CD player. That's the product name. Wooden CD player, 1002, a 5-volt 2 amp. Just garbage. Now, what I ordered is not the rechargeable one, because you can get one with a battery, and that basically works like a CD player, because this does have analog out. But the big thing about this one is it should also have digital out. So we have our Rexitry in full Chinese, because this was bought off of AliExpress. I think it technically has a DAC amp in it too, because it's saying you can play DVD, VCD, MP4, CD-ROM. I remember there were some other features in there. It's got a 3.5mm jack. It does have an LCD. That is one reason why I picked this specific one. 3.5mm USB Type-C. That's another thing, is a Type-C input. And it's got SPDIF optical out. That's why I wanted it. What is this here? That is not getting put into one of my computers. It says it is a recordable compact disc. Why we would need a recordable compact disc, I don't know. Because this doesn't write. This is a reading only device. So there are basically two different models of these. This is, I think, the better one. There are less options for it. I'm pretty sure this is a different brand than the one I actually ordered. That happens on AliExpress. So apparently it has Bluetooth as well. SPDIF optical out. I think one person said one of their issues with the Bluetooth was that they couldn't unpair it from stuff. So, careful with that. In here comes the cheapest USB-C to A cable and the world's cheapest looking 3.5mm cable. This little box. The packaging actually isn't too bad. Like the stuff that comes in it looks cheap as shit. Got over. I bought this for currently listed for $61.47, and I bought it for $51 before tax. There's one that actually, like, some audiophile brands, I think it was a UK place that's like an audiophile store, was selling very, very similar to this. Pleasant listening Bluetooth CD player. Like I said, there are options for this with, you can plug a flash drive with MP3s, like it says right in there. I think they were like WMA or also supported, similar stuff like that. I never plan to use it that way. I plan to put a DC 5-volt in and a bit of optical cable out to my DAC amp and play the CD. Now, that is one reason why I got this version. Let's zoom into 2x. Is that too big? It's probably fine for this. Look at that. We got buttons for play, pause, next track, etc. right on the outside. On the other one, the buttons for that were actually under here, which was dumb as hell. The other thing that is under here is there's an LCD right there. So you can actually get time, like track time and stuff like that. I guess that's to prevent the laser from sliding. We're definitely going to use a disc I care about less first, just to make sure it's working. Or like maybe even a burned disc. That is about as fake plastic wood as humanly possible. I don't care about that. You can get a black or a white one. Like I said, this is kind of a step up. And I think you'll be able to see the screen through that. I don't think mine said Rexitry or whatever it was. It was just the like CD player or something. Yeah, somebody else mentioned one person couldn't get the Bluetooth disconnected, the other one saying they couldn't get the Bluetooth connected. So yeah, I wouldn't count on that. Maybe if you're gonna get that one too, get that or want to do that, get the version of it that has the built-in battery, because you're gonna be using it more as a portable one. Though with how this doesn't really close, I don't know if I would fully recommend that, to be truthful. I bought this specifically for the optical output and the Type-C input. There is one other one. Thinkia JA310. That is like the more established one. But the buttons for the Thinkia JA310 are right here, like where that screen is, or they might be over here on this side. I didn't like that. I liked that this one. I think this one was about 10 bucks more, and didn't include optical cable. I already have an optical cable. Yeah, I like the buttons were here, so like you didn't have to, like if you want to do play, pause, or skip a track, you don't have to open the top and press it. And then the other thing I liked about this one is that it has got a little screen on it. That I don't know what it all gives you. It should at least give you like what track you're on and track time, I would hope. Which was a nice improvement for just a couple bucks more. So very simple, nothing to it. This is really all I needed and or wanted for a CD transport. A lot of the ones, they would be bigger than this. For like 200 bucks, I would gladly buy like a quality version of this. You know what I mean? Or none of the desktop players like that the Moondrop one. They have analog out. All the other ones that are like that too, analog out, not digital out. And optical or digital coax is perfectly fine for me. I think optical is going to be easier or more common for most people. So let me grab a CD I do not care about, or a burned one, and find a USB cable and a USB port, and get cracking on this and see if we can get it working. All right, we're back. Drink some green tea. Got this ghetto arrangement set up. So we got the player up here temporarily. Making it work with a longer. Turns out the optical cable head can make it all the way over the DAC amp. We got that's my topping DX9. You do not need something that high end. A lot of these have at least digital coax, if not also optical in. Any of the here's my DX7 Pro Plus that needs a firmware update. That one's going to go on the work desk upstairs once I have that. Also, this will eventually probably be like right next to this or on a separate table or something. I did find out though that it does have an on-off. You just hold mode, Now this screen is like, you think it looks blurry now, right? It still looks blurry. The plastic they have on there is like so freaking like blurred out. It's still readable though. Like, it has no disc in there. I haven't even tried playing it. We grabbed TheProfosist Smile disc because it is already pretty jacked up. It is signed though. Sad face doing this one-handed. Clumsy fuck. But yeah, it's already not in great condition. I did rip it though, and it ripped successfully. So you can even see a line around it on the outside. That is not from when it was originally made, but somebody's CD player. It says no CD. Yeah, one of my close friends gifted this to me. Apparently he got it signed back when we first saw them in 2007. And this, I think he picked this up because that was the album he liked at the time. So it says no CD, mode, USB, CD. Alright, we're reading. Okay, we got one. It says something about Bluetooth. I don't have Bluetooth. So let's switch to this guy? Nope. That's output. Where's input? Oh, there we go. So it's not outputting. Mode. USB. CD. Unlock, short delay relay, auto, off. So we're not getting anything out here. BRB. So we are playing quite loudly, in fact. So hit pause. Hit pause. I checked. There is red blinky light on this end coming out of here. I don't know why there's no red blinky light going out over there. Let's check something. Oh, we got that unplugged. Are we playing again? Play. Okay, we're playing. So. Oh, shock. So we have red light. Should we try optical 1 instead? Let's try changing that. We still got unlock, which means no signal. So we go over to USB. Yeah, it'll say. So that, I believe it means it's not getting a signal, despite that having a signal coming out of it and us being able to hear it with the headphones. So you definitely don't want to push the top all the way down. Listen. So that's kind of an oversight. Really doesn't want to close all the way anyway, but so I need to look into why we're not getting a optical signal out. Like there's red light, but there's not actually like a signal. So lovely. So I found our culprit. It is this black optical cable right there that's currently going in optical 1. I grabbed this higher end, like gold tipped. I don't know why an optical cable would be gold tipped, but Radio Shack 1 worked first time. Now it's only long enough to go from here directly to there. Kind of annoying. Also cat right there. So I did about to throw this one out. Yeah. So we'll see if this works. I'll cut the tie ramps off. I guess we'll do what we did there for the USB-C cable. By the way, if you're wondering why that really long, nice, chubby cable is not in use like on a normal thing, doesn't properly negotiate. Like it'll do 20 volt fine, maybe 15 volt fine, anything lower than that, and there's too much, I think, resistance for the length. They ended up refunding me. Yeah, they even said that the connector on this one, this is a chubby 3.1, is not as good. I noticed them playing it as well. So it works fine for this though, because it's just 5 volt. It's a dumb charger. It just wants 5 volt 2 amp. So I can just plug it into kind of whatever. It's not actually like USB PD. That's what it can't negotiate. So yeah, we're gonna try this really long optical cable, and I'm just gonna do this shortcut right there to there once I get it unclipped to see if it does indeed work. I should probably show this one working. Oh yeah, switch inputs. There you go. Works right away. So it's definitely this other optical cable is shite. There's little fly guys around here. So I'm gonna unplug that. We could ghetto run that like behind the mic and the light temporarily if we had to, and then order one off Amazon. But I also have this super duper long one that we're gonna try and see if it also works. This is what happens when you keep cables for like 10 plus years. They end up being bad. And I did actually protect this. If you notice, like with optical cables, you have to keep that polished. These are little caps on them. I actually had little adapters. So I used to use that cable at, oh here they are. This is what was protecting it. These guys, these are 3.5 millimeter. Yeah, but a lot of you probably didn't know this, that they adapted the 3.5 millimeter jack to be optical. And what this does is it basically thins out the tip. If you take this cap off, it takes the normal Toslink SPDIF jack here and converts it to 3.5 millimeter, like that. And then you can have like a lot of CE players very early on actually had optical out as well. Some laptops had that as well, optical out on the laptop, except it was out of the 3.5mm headphone jack, or you might have a line out. That line out could also be optical out or optical in. Fancy schmancy. So I had that because I had something implemented that way that needed 3.5mm, 3.5mm. And it was common enough in the past that I used to actually carry one of those in my bag with an optical cable, because it wouldn't be uncommon to go from my laptop optical out to like a receiver or something like that. I mean, this was, I think it's 24-bit 96 kilohertz is what this can handle. So, I mean, it was pretty decent. Alright, so we got the, like, I don't know how many, it was 5 meter, I believe, for this red cable, right? It 25 feet. It was this whole friggin', it went end to end in this whole room. Right, now we got this, like, at least 25, if not 50-foot optical cable, but it's playing. You can see 44.1 over there. So that's how you know it is the CD. I'm just muting. So yeah, that other optical cable, the one that was kind of like the perfect length here, that's actually a really nice one. Feels really, really good in the hand. It's a Toslink HD TV high resolution shield cable that makes no sense. ROHS compliant. I mean, it's literally, there shouldn't be any lead in it. That's all that ROHS means, guys. Because it's an optical cable. Yeah, there's no brand on it, so maybe it is really a piece of garbage. Despite in hand, this rubber is feeling good, way better than the. You can see how janked up this Radio Shack one is, and also I remember when they were selling this back in the day. I don't have the protection ends for this one. Yeah, they made a big deal about the gold ends on here. It's optical. It does literally. What you care about is the plastic right there. Or glass fiber for like the really early, but it should be plastic, you know, because the fiber optics. So like this being gold means nothing. Literally means here premium gold. Oh, are we gonna focus? So premium gold series. We're using macro mode. Fiber optic audio cable with durable jacket. That's what they called it. I mean, I have two of these. They've both. I think I had three at one point. But these are still working fine all these years later. So yeah, I would say it is like better, but yeah, there's literally no point in having that gold there. So I'm gonna put those protectors, I guess, on this one. In the meantime, use the spool of cable there because it's working, and yeah, we'll be able to play some CDs. So yeah, that had light coming out of it. I have no idea why it's not working, but straight up just, you know, like look at this. This is shit stream relief too. It's not even stream relief. It's just like a handle. Whereas this had this very nice. Look at that. That's proper strain relief on there. And yes, it was flexible. I don't know how to show you that, but it is flexible. However, apparently, didn't matter. Womp womp, as some may say. So I'm gonna clean that up, run it behind things, and yeah, get back to playing CDs because it seems to be working well. The only thing, like I said, I don't like is apparently this is just supposed to be a dust cover. I may add some rubber guys because it can obviously play all the way open. I may add some rubber guys on the very corner here so you can't close it too far and start, because if you look, you start rubbing the disc, which is no bueno. See, listen. You don't want to do that. So yeah, I'm gonna use some little rubber feet, you know, kind of like what they got on the bottom here. I'll put them on there so you actually can't close it too far and make things scrape. I mean, you gotta remember this thing was, you're like, $50, yeah, but like compared to other things that can just do optical out of a CD, yes, this is reasonably priced and actually very, very good. Like I said, you can get it as low as like 40. I think I might even some as low as 38 if you don't want the buttons on the outside and you don't want the little screen. I think that little screen makes it way nicer to use, and the buttons where you don't have to pop it open to like pause, next track, etc. it's worth a little bit of upgrade here. All right, so obviously we're working. Can mute it there. It plays. This lid has no, like, it'll play like this, and it's just a dust cover. Now it goes back to there, right? And if you close it any more than that, it'll actually slow it down too much as well. So yes, I'm definitely going to want to put some little rubber stoppers just like right on the corner. I gotta make sure I don't go over that little screen. Right, gotta make sure I don't go over that. They like tried here. You see right there? That's what they came up with. So maybe I'll put them right next to it, right on top of those. I got some little rubber buttons that I can do that with. You only need a little bit. Like I said, something like the rubber feet that they have on the bottom here. But this is working otherwise great. Hit pause. You know, looks like it's resuming too, because that's the track. If I hit next track, watch. Alright, if I hit next track, track 8, you know, so it doesn't do CD text or anything like that. Also, apparently, if you hold this down, it will, is that rand? Yeah, so it's random. Let's just play the CD. Yeah, so by default, it repeats the CD. I'm turning that off. Also, you can turn Bluetooth off in that menu. No idea why that is there like that. So, yep. The one modification that I need to do is make it so that when you close the lid, you don't get burnt on the CD. The nice thing though is you can close the lid; it'll bounce back up to about there. Like that's the gap you kind of want. You don't need that big of a gap up here, but they didn't make it rotate. Like the lid should, when you close it, it should be like a scanner and have a thing that when you have something thicker in it, it punches the back up. Like the back can go up and down, so then it keeps it flat. This is a pretty cheap product. They didn't get into it that far. Yeah, unmute. Still playing. So, yeah, this will be the temporary setup. It's just up here. Throw a CD in when I want to listen to it, and we can listen to it just like one of these ones over here that I just got new. That if I want to listen to before I rip, or often like with Blu-rays and DVDs, I will watch them at least once physically, you know. But then lately I've been ripping to ISO because they just get some of those ones from the early 2000s over there. They got bit rot, so trying to track down new copies of them and you know, rip them. That way I at least have them, because a lot of this is just to have the collection, you know what I mean? As long as I have the data as well, the ISO, you know, you're allowed to have a copy, you know? Make your copies for yourself, because literally, like I said, I own those. They are old. And yes, bit rot does happen. So hopefully you enjoyed this. If you've got a DAC amp that has an optical input, it does not do digital coax, but optical input, you know, like any of the topping ones that I generally recommend. This may be a CD player for you. This one or the slightly cheaper one that has the buttons on the inside. If you don't care about being able to close the lid. If you have cats, you want to be able to close the lid. You may need to, like, I'll try to find like the brand of rubber bumpers I use so the lid can't smash into the CD, and even so it slow down while playing. Can't believe somebody didn't check that. You know? Alright, we'll see you in the next one. Peace.